Jeff with Slick Sales, and today I'm going to be putting some carpet in this house that we're going to do listing for sale. I'm going to do a little how-to on how to install carpet. I did have carpet in it before, as you can see from the pad marks and all, so I'm just going to use a little like a drywall knife. And I'm going to just knock it up all over the floor. Now they make plenty of tools, scrapers and all those things to help you along the way, but this has always worked for me, so that's what I've always used. So the important thing is to just get all the lumps up. So that it doesn't leave any humps up under the carpet. Okay, so with the pad here, it'll be a little bit different than the carpet. With the pad, it just falls inside the strip. So I'm gonna cut that straight. Same on this side. Cut it straight so that it's even with that. And I'm gonna tack this right here. Eventually, they're gonna put some new floor in this bathroom too, so we don't have that right now. But right now I'm gonna cut this about a 1/2 inch back of the existing floor in the bathroom. So that'll give me something to tack to when the time comes. So now with the rest of this, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna push this down with my hand, and I'm gonna run it just on this side of the strip. It should make it perfectly even down through there. So here we have our vent. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find my edge. I'm just gonna cut right along the edge of that edge. Main thing is you don't want it to overlap into the vent. Right, so now the pad is all done here. And I'm fixing to get some measurements. Once the carpet's in and laid in here, the goal is I'm gonna start in this corner here. Ideally, you would want this to be even, but either the carpet or the walls are slightly off, probably both. Anyways, I'm gonna set this wall. I'll stretch that way, and I'll stretch that way. Once I do that, I will set both of the walls entire, and then I'll start from that door, angling across there. Once I go all the way across, I come back to this point, and I start stretching straight into this wall. That's gonna get all 4 walls tight. All right, so there are a couple different tools that we use, or I use, to install carpet. One, a knee kicker. Now, I try to use this as little as possible, and you'll see why in just a second. Hammer. We call this a wedge. It's actually called a stair tool. This is what I use to tuck my carpet. Some people do it different ways. They use what's called a carpet spreader, and then a trimmer. I don't do it that way. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way though. And now this is the most important thing, power stretcher. But more importantly than the power stretcher, here in Alabama, we have wood subfloors in 99% of the houses. So, this is called a stinger. We've always referred to it as the little stretcher. But 95% of the time, this is what I use to install carpet. It's much easier than lugging that big box around. And it goes real fast. It's really easy. I don't have to use the kicker and hurt my knees. So this is what I use. I don't know. I think these are probably about $100 or something like that on Amazon. But I've had this one for 25 years. Best invention ever. I'm first starting to set my wall here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna take my foot and just press it down a little bit. Because like I said now, there's the wall I just said. I'm gonna go right over here and go at an angle into that wall. And then this wall will be stretched. So now, as I'm going to angle across this wall here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this off now. Keep it from getting in my way in just a minute. So, we'll start doing that. And I'm gonna take my stair tool and I'm gonna go about halfway to the head of the stretcher. Same thing each time. See, that's gonna get all that flat, pull all those wrinkles out as I go across here. Once I finish going angle right here, up into the corner, like I said, I'll come back down here to the beginning. I'll go straight, which will get all those wrinkles right there out as they go straight. So this will go back to what I was talking about before, of some people using a spreader and then using a trimmer. The problem that I have with the trimmer is if you don't know how to use it, you cut your wall back this far and then you have to re-stretch the room. The problem with this way is if you don't do it exactly right, you're gonna cut your baseboards. So what I'm trying to do is get as close to the bottom of the baseboard as possible, but I'm getting in between there. And I'm just gonna cut this off. Just like that. Okay, so here we are. This is gonna be our closet door. Now, the reason I didn't cut this before is because I stretched everything that way. So now what I'm gonna do is on this side of the baseboard, or the trim, I'm gonna run it off. Then I'm gonna go right up to it. Come back at an angle. Both sides I can do that because I've already stretched that way now. Come back at an angle. All right, so we are just about done. I've got the room installed, and this is very important. You don't want to cut your vents out until the room is actually completely stretched in. Otherwise it'll move. So to cut the vent out, what I'm gonna do is find the edge, and I'm gonna find the middle. I'm gonna cut both ways. On this side, I'm going right next to the edge, both directions, and the same over here. Right on the edge, both directions. Fold this side back. We'll cut right down that edge. And the same on this side. Once those are cut out, slap the vent back in there. Good to go. All right, so that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope I helped somebody out. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, just drop them in the comment section. I'm sure there's gonna be people telling me I did it wrong. Maybe so, but this is how I've done it for 25 or 30 years. And I know it works because I can guarantee my work. So if you haven't yet, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Any of the tools and such I've used in the video, I'll make sure to put a link in the description. And until next time,